Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Boys and
in.
girls.
This is episode 14 of Going the JC Route. We're definitely going the JC route today. I'm your host, JC. The boys are back. We're made whole this time for once in forever, it feels like. Uh, I'm super excited because it is the Christmas Eve of Christmas Eves. Not only is it Christmas week, Merry Christmas, boys.
Merry Christmas.
It is the night before National Signing Day, where in college football, all your dreams can come true, minus winning a national championship. And
But it starts on this. It starts tomorrow.
100%.
The hopes of winning a national championship start tomorrow.
Outside of the night before opening day, this is the second best feeling, because if your team has good recruiting, you're super excited, and if not, well, see you next year.
Sucks to be you. Sucks to be you.
If your team has good recruiting, you can play in about a week
Pretty much.
for a national championship.
Yep. Well, and it's proven that the team, think of it, like the teams that are perennially fighting in the playoff, they all have top recruiting classes. Like for 2023, the top rankings are Bama, Georgia, and Miami. But think about it. LSU went 9-3 this year. Notre Dame went
You skipped over me.
4. But you get the point, right?
Well,
The top 10 is loaded with teams that are highly competitive, minus a couple, of course. Miami, what the hell?
Yeah,
I think
Miami's sneaking in there at number 3.
I think the thing with Miami is that they're right there in a hotbed for recruiting, but it's also a culture. It's a culture thing because I'm sure people there just want to go party anyways.
Well, for one, Mario Cristobal is an awesome recruiter, but also they are throwing money at these kids. But I really I also like your point. They're locking down the state of Florida. Like you look at their commits: Florida, Massachusetts, Florida, California, Georgia.
But at the same time,
Florida.
yes,
90% of their class
at the same time,
kids.
But at the same time, like building the culture to go and win, because there's a lot of distractions in Miami. There's a lot of distractions in Austin as well. So like building that culture where you're so focused to go and win is kind of hard whenever you have that money and then you also have an entire city that's an entire distraction to a high school kid that's coming out of high school.
And that goes back to a bigger point I know I've talked about before. But staying on the topic of Miami, hear me out, because we know, or at least from reports, Miami's throwing a ton of money at these kids. Are y'all getting the Texas A&M vibe I'm getting from Miami?
Not really.
No, I'm
not entirely, because if I'm being,
because that was the whole thing. Is Texas A&M had that historic recruiting class last cycle.
Yes. Okay.
But everybody knew the school's throwing money at those kids. Well, guess what? Half those kids are in the portal this year. Do we think that's going to happen with Miami after this next season? And if they're not getting the money they were promised, or the team sucks, or whatever it may be?
Well, that's the new norm. Like that's going to happen regardless. Like that's you don't have the days have long gone to where it's about who you're loyal to. Like it's about who has the biggest money. Like you're going to have guys that are going to come to a team because they're getting paid, and then they're going to leave to go somewhere else because they're either not getting paid, they're not playing, or somebody came up with more money to go get them.
But y'all don't see mass exodus from Miami at some point?
No, what happens at Miami. I can't see them having near to what A&M is having. I don't think anybody's going to have near to what A&M is having.
To be fair, I hadn't even thought about it that way, because I mean Miami is like all the way on the eastern coast. But I mean, to your point, for me, it's a part, because like you saw what happened this year with them in particular, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because both teams played each other at the earlier in the year.
Awful game.
But like,
Awful.
yeah, absolutely. But like you know, if Miami comes out and looks the same as A&M did, losing to an Appalachian State type team, not looking good in any of their games, looking like dog crap whenever they play your any team offensively, then yeah, I can see it happening, because like at the end of the day, they're corralling those kids. But like Miami hasn't been the U in about 22-ish years, and they were not good last year. So there's no, like, up front, there's no real reason why. And Mario Cristobal is probably a really I've heard he's a great recruiter and he's a decent person, but like other than that, like there's no reason to me other than maybe the scenery and probably the money that the kids are getting to go play at Miami.
Question for you, James.
Okay.
Speaking of A&M and their mass exodus, I'm sure you've been well aware of the rumors surrounding David Hicks.
I mean, from what I hear, he's going to say solid, but
they're predicting Oklahoma.
I find that hard to believe.
That's what the crystal ball prediction is, but we'll see.
I disagree, especially since his dad was just named head coach of Katy Pato. It's going to be hard to get him out of A&M, but I mean, he's not even signing tomorrow. He's signing Friday. So, I mean, anything can happen in the next couple days, but I think it's going to be hard to get him away from A&M. I have heard Oklahoma and Oregon have made a run at him, but
Miami made a run at him.
I'm expecting him to stay with A&M. Yeah, because they're throwing money at him. Like everybody else is recruiting.
It would be just funny, even more funny, if A&M lost another 5-star recruit again.
I'm the only 5-star I'm truly worried about at this point is Mr. Peyton Bowen.
Peyton Bowen?
I need my friend and current Notre Dame commit to come to the good side. To come to the good side. Come to the good guys. Join your buddy Jackson Arnold in Norman, and let's go win some games.
They're saying he's most likely going to Notre Dame, but we'll see.
I don't. The only reason people are saying that is because he's been committed for over a year, almost a year now. But at this point, there's just so much going for Oklahoma. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, honestly, because he's going to be committed to Notre Dame until he either signs or flips. And who knows what he ends up doing. For all I know, he's probably going to stay with Notre Dame. His mom loves Notre Dame. Everybody else wants to go to Oklahoma, though. I think he wants to go to Oklahoma. His girlfriend's a soccer player at Oklahoma. And his best friend's Jackson Arnold, who's going to be our quarterback. Right? Like, there's just so much going on for him to end up at Oklahoma. We'll have to see. But to add a 5-star safety to our class after the year we've had would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Pair him with Billy Bowman. I'll be so happy.
That'd be an interesting.
I would hate having two safeties named Bowen and Bowman, but that's besides the point.
That's beside the point.
I
will point out.
I was gonna say, plus having a top 8 class as it stands, with the year we've had, absolutely incredible. Especially when Lincoln Riley's highest class at Oklahoma was 6th. Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you should feel good. I feel great. I feel really good.
I mean, USC is sitting at number 13 in the 247 rankings, so they've obviously got some room to go up.
Yeah, they do.
But I like how it's looking right now. To be fair, their transfer portal class is wicked.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell? They have 3 commits from Arizona. Holy shit!
But look who they're great at the USC. They're great at the transfer portal, but look who that SOB is. That.
He's paying players that are currently on other teams.
I told this to Chris though. If I may talk about UT for a minute, if I may, I think as a whole this year they were ahead of schedule, and I'm fine with the recruiting class they've had. More than fine. If I may, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, James. I'm to quote you. I am drinking the Kool-Aid.
I say to be fair, that's fine, because what did we say before the season started?
What?
If we want to see Texas make deliberate progress. They need to go 7-5, 8-4 this year.
And
not only have they done that, they're looking stronger and they're recruiting really well on top of it.
If
I'm
I'm
having a top 5 class
and
prior to signing day, plus a couple more that are
gonna transfer too.
well, that and potentially on the way, like in high school recruits.
It's good.
It's good.
If I may, number
But
one,
now here's the thing though. They have to take another step next year.
they do.
Like
So,
they've got to go 9-3, 10-2.
I'm fine with it.
That's what I was
I told this to Chris. This is what like I knew. Not. I hope this won't get us shut down. I was like, dude. As soon as I saw Anthony Hill Jr. flip, I was like, ready to jizz, man. Number 1 quarterback, number 1 running back, number 1 linebacker in the country. I love it. I hope it all just falls perfectly tomorrow and later on. But so far, it's great. I absolutely love it.
I mean, Anthony is going to come in and be a day 1 Mike linebacker.
What? Yeah, no.
The one thing
we've seen him play. We saw him play it.
Massive human being.
He's literally, and he's fast, bro. That's the other thing. He's got the speed.
One thing is that, I mean, you to that point about them being ahead of schedule, you said the same thing whenever they played and beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. But like JC said, they went 8-4. Y'all went 8-4. It was a really good game season. Now you either got to replicate that, or you got
you better.
You got to go 9-3. And then if you are 8-4, the other thing you have to do is compete in those games. If you can look at your game and that you lost and be content with it, I think that's fine. But the way that you played against down the stretch against TCU or Oklahoma State, that game offensively against TCU, like if those games are consistent, like next year, you might have to it could be an issue. But like I said, if not an issue, but that could be a small little thing. But yeah, 8-4 or 9-3, 8-4 again or 9-3 would be where they should the next step.
And I thought Herman could recruit really well. Sark, holy shit, man!
Wasn't Herman a
recruiter? Herman couldn't recruit the line of scrimmage
because he wasn't a people.
He wasn't.
I thought he wasn't a people guy.
But also, Herb Hand was awful. So, but that's a whole other conversation. Kyle Flood can recruit, that's for sure.
Flood is.
I told you that the day Sarkisian was hired. I need to see who his staff's going to be. What did he do? He went and hired 8 recruiters. Yep. You've got Kyle Flood. You've got what's his
Jeff Banks.
Jeff Banks. You've got Brennan Marion, right?
Yeah.
Rashard Choice is awesome.
Rashard Choice is there. Yeah.
He plus even former Cowboy, and the fact that he turned down USC to go to Texas
makes you happy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Fortunately, it's great. Now, if we may, James, if we may, scroll all the way down the list here to up 20, Arkansas. Wow, not even in the top.
I mean, I honestly don't even know who's in Arkansas's class this year.
Jalen Braxton, a 4-star corner out of Lone Star. Okay. And then they've got 2 tight ends, which makes sense. Huh?
That's his best recruit, Jesus Christ.
That's his best recruit, is a 4-star corner.
Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed Luke Haas didn't stay in Oklahoma because, I mean, Luke Haas was committed to Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma, and then when he left, he flipped.
At least he didn't go to USC.
Luke Haas is an awesome player.
He's their third recruit, their third best, excuse me. Their second best is Shamar Easter, another tight end from Ashdown, Arkansas. I'm kind of surprised, man. I'm not really
I'm going to say be careful what happens because these players might not stick. Like Quincy Rhodes, that's a player I know Oklahoma's trying to flip right now.
Yeah.
The other thing is the thing is that with Pittman, he's not willing to. He's gone on record saying that he wants people who are loyal and want to be there to play, not there for cash or whatever. So he's not trying to be too aggressive in the transfer portal. I mean, he might go and get guys. He did that last year, but he doesn't look too aggressive to go and get somebody in the transfer portal or try and flip guys or try and be as evil and stupid as Lane Kiffin or the dumbass in USC is trying to be. Whatever his name is.
I'm looking at the recruiting rankings right now in the SEC. Who do y'all think are the top 10 starting at number 1?
In the SEC?
Yeah, without looking, who do you think?
Well, I know Bama and Georgia are 1, 2.
Georgia and Alabama. Who's Tennessee?
LSU.
Tennessee.
LSU's 3.
LSU, Tennessee.
4. Tennessee.
Florida somewhere.
5 is Florida.
Who's Florida?
6?
South Carolina.
No.
Auburn.
Nope.
Arkansas.
Kentucky.
Nope.
Arkansas 7th.
Nope, they're not.
Well, you're at 6, right? It's not Kentucky. It's not Missouri. Ole Miss.
Nope.
Yeah, it was
Mississippi State.
Nope.
Vanderbilt.
No. No.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M is somehow. Okay, then 7th.
Arkansas.
Nope. Arkansas went down.
I don't know, dude. This is
South Carolina, then Arkansas, wrapping up the 8th spot. Chris, is this concerning at all?
It's a little irritating, but I mean, it's happening to a lot of teams. But I'm at the point where I'll just wait and see what happens next year. Because I mean, a lot of guys.
Well,
a lot of guys have flipped. A lot of guys have jumped, and as I said earlier, Pittman doesn't seem like the guy who's going to be aggressive about going to get guys.
And
I mean, we just have to wait and see what the coaching does, and because it doesn't. In this day and age, you're not going to get a recruit to go there because they like the place or they think that they can go help build a program. They want to go where the money is at. So, and they're not willing to do that at Arkansas right now because of Pittman, and that's his choice. And I think it's not a great choice, but I feel like it's the right choice. Even though it compromises us even having a shot at doing anything, but like I said, I'll just wait and see what happens next year and see if it gets any better, and if it doesn't, then we'll probably have to go in a different direction.
And that was my question, because before the show started, while I was waiting in the room beforehand.
The waiting room.
The waiting room. Yeah. The sunken place.
Good timeout.
Yeah. The sunken place. Is the honeymoon love affair with Sam Pittman ending pretty close to ending, or is it over?
I'm not the honeymoon it's ended. I'm not irritated, but it's like the thing where I'm not irritated at him because he's still the
progress has plateaued a little bit.
It has, but
competitive, but they've reached a flat place. It seems like.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see if he can get past. I think next year is very crucial for him because we're 6-6, but I mean, I'd rather be 6-6 than 2-10 and having to claw to beat Western Kentucky, even though
100%.
Oh, 100%.
But and we're bowl eligible again. So but like I said, next year is crucial because this is the first time he's had to make decisions. Because you had a defensive coordinator go to UNLV, you had other coaches leave. We just hired a defensive coordinator a few days ago, along with a tight end coach earlier in the week.
Barry Odom left?
Yeah, Barry Odom left to go to UNLV. And then, do you know who his offensive coordinator turned out to be? Who followed him? Bobby Petrino.
Really?
Bobby Petrino followed him to UNLV. Which is actually very nice because A&M was in talks to try and go get him, which actually kind of terrified me because as much as not great human being as he is, he's a very good offensive play caller. Because I know from experience, I know from seeing him. But yeah, it's I think it's a crucial time for Pittman because it's the first time he's had to make decisions with the defensive coordinator or the coordinator positions, and he lost a lot of talent because guys want to go where the money's at, and we're not willing to pay them.
Did you say you've hired a new DC already?
Yes, new. It was a DC from UCF.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Williams. He's good.
Something like that. Yeah, and then we hired a tight ends coach from Stanford who helped bring up Austin Hooper and a couple other really good tight ends.
Nerd.
So I like I'm interested because the hires seem interesting. And there's guys that have, through all the darkness of people leaving, KJ Jefferson still stayed. Rocket Sanders has not and said he's left. As a matter of fact, I just looked at the depth chart, and Rocket Sanders and AJ Green are on that list. And so
I'm honestly,
I'm not.
That's honestly a regret of mine with the Lincoln Riley era. Is Lincoln Riley refused to recruit the state of Oklahoma very well, and AJ Green was a player the entire fan base wanted. But that's the thing, AJ Green wanted to play running back. Oklahoma, that staff at Oklahoma recruited him as a safety, and they refused to even change it to an athlete.
He's a good running back. I don't know why you would want him to play safety, play in the secondary.
That's why. And I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, honestly, and that's the thing. I'm not a college football coach, right? So evaluations are not my strong suit.
But here's the beauty of
if you have a talent that's that high, you make it work. You find a spot for him on your team.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you got to find whether it's doing some kind of slot stuff early on and then putting them in and rotating the running backs. You have to find a way. But I think. And like I said, he's still on the team because I just looked at I glanced at the depth chart and he's on that depth chart. But
speaking of slot,
the beauty of that is that if you did not get the beauty of the transfer portal is that if you did not get the guy that you wanted, the transfer portal allows you to go and get that guy if he's willing to go to your team. So
I was gonna say, speaking of slot, can we talk about the fact that Drake Stoops is going to make Bill Belichick very happy in a year or two?
No kidding. Bill Belichick after this weekend wasn't too happy.
Oh, I bet he I would not.
Chris, I know you did. James, did you see?
Yes, unfortunately.
I'll be honest. The first time I watched that, I was like, "That's very stupid." But I didn't look at the score. I thought that they were losing.
Tied.
I didn't know. No. The first time I watched that, I didn't know it was tied. I thought that New England was losing, and they threw it backwards. And I was like, "How funny is it that somebody picked it up?" And then I was on one of the funny pages, and there was one of my mom's friends who I call Uncle was on the page, and he was talking about how stupid it was, and he was like, and I was like, he was like, that's way worse than what happened to the Colts, and I was like, is it though? And he was like, no, it is. And I went back and looked at it. I was like, are you serious? It was tied.
I was listening to the radio on the way home that evening, and I heard something about how the Patriots lost some ridiculous manner. And then we were watching together the Sunday night game, Chris, on the phone. And I then saw the halftime highlights, and I was like, wait, so how did this happen? And I literally could not have said that in a louder, high-pitched voice in my entire life.
Speaking of which one's more embarrassing? Losing an all-time lead like the Colts did, or losing the way the Patriots lost?
The Patriots.
I would say the Colts because, dude, you're up 30 points.
33.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Like I'm somewhere like right in between. It's funny that y'all disagreed with each other because I'm like right in the middle. Because like on one hand, like you have the all-time loss, which the quarterback of that also did it in the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Which I
Like
feel
Matt
sorry,
Ryan, man.
Matt Ryan obviously lost the Super Bowl. He lost when he was up by 10 with under 6 minutes to go in the game to the Chargers. He lost when they were up 17 to the Dolphins, like at the beginning of the third. We saw what happened to us during COVID year, 39-24. We saw what happened, and that was with under 5 minutes to go.
I forgot about that was the bad year.
That was
I forgot about that game.
Then
I forgot about that game.
They were up 30-15 with under 5 minutes to go. They were up by 16 against the Bears with 6.5 minutes to go. We're up by 17 against the Bucks, like with just over 4.5 in the third, and then we saw what happened there. That Matt Ryan lost all those games.
Terms of, like that, that's bad. But in terms of pure stupidity, in terms of pure stupidity, the lateral when you're tied, like if you do that and they score on that, the guy who lateraled it should have just left the stadium because like I don't know what I would have done. That is just
James.
I honestly.
To be fair, I have to play. I have to play. Oh no. I have to be careful what I say here because the running back of that has not yet to be named is a certain OU grad. I mean, he's the best running back the Patriots have by far. He's also carried one of my fantasy teams this year. But
who did that? I'm blanking on his name.
It's Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's why he went to JUCO though.
But, what were you going to say?
What was I going to say?
You were like, I want to be careful with what I say.
Well, that's it. I mean, like, I just got to be careful because, like, anyone's going to talk shit about what I say because it's an OU grad. I'm just like, oh, God. Here we go again.
But it's just, come on, man. Like,
you got to have some football IQ.
I bet that was on Come On, man. I didn't watch the Monday night game, but I bet that was on.
That'll be on SportsCenter's not top 10.
That's Hall of Fame worth. That's up there with the Buff Fumble. That is up there with the Buff Fumble.
But
can we talk about the second half of that play where Mac Jones gets absolutely baptized for no reason at all?
It's not like stiff arm from hell.
It's like that stiff arm. Remember that stiff arm that Derrick Henry gave to who was it? Was it Earl?
Oh yeah.
Was it Earl Thomas?
Playoffs.
No, it was shit. It was one of the old corner. It was some corner that was running his mouth.
Yeah, but it was like a big, like it was a pretty good, like a has been.
No.
Earl Thomas was the block. Remember, it was the Baltimore Ravens, and you turned him into a blocker. You seen that one?
That's right.
You seen that where he's trying to come at him, and then he just like pushes him to like where he's running behind.
Right, gentlemen, if I may. Speaking of embarrassing. How about that second half performance by our Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, it was Josh Norman. Yeah.
I knew it was somebody. Yeah. I knew it was somebody that was like, okay, like good. And then like went just.
You know what else went?
Yeah, I know.
The
defense didn't show.
If I've got, I have
the second half. And then crappy play calling down the stretch. Why are you throwing it on 3rd and 10?
Chris,
force him to use the timeout.
Here, I've got a lot to unpack. If I can just speak for a couple of minutes, I've got a lot.
Is this your rant?
It's a rant combined with the game, but
I don't know why.
A lot to unpack here.
Just sit back with JC.
Let me start off by saying
JJ's about to go off.
To
take
think,
notes.
Okay. Yeah, take notes. So let me start off by saying this. For anyone out there that is a fan of this team to think that we were not going to lose another game this season is ludicrous. We were going to at some point. Didn't know when, but we were going to. We're still sitting at 10-4, so people who are hitting the panic button need to chill. But the game as a whole, I thought Dak played really well. That first interception, you can kind of make the argument his arm got hit. The second interception, and I'm specifically talking to the people who are claiming that he was the one who blew the game. If you can honestly tell me that interception was Dak Prescott's fault when the ball hit Noah Brown in the chest.
You didn't watch the game.
Then you just lost your football card. That was not his fault. Dak played really well. I mean, in the first half, he went, 15 for 13 with 2 touchdowns?
Wait, say that again. Say it again.
I'm sorry, 13 for 15. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
15 of 13.
What?
JC, he said 15 of 13.
Can I finish? After halftime.
No.
After halftime, Jaguars, first possession, touchdown. Second possession, touchdown. Third possession, touchdown. It's insane. In 9 minutes, they scored, I think, 21 or 24 points. Something ridiculous. In 9 minutes, maybe more, if I heard it correctly. And Kelvin frickin' Joseph. Kelvin frickin' Joseph.
Second round pick.
Kelvin Joseph.
Second round pick acting like a undrafted pick.
Literally acting like an undrafted free agent. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. Kelvin Joseph, I mean, he didn't have a good game at all and on an already depleted secondary. But then
his biggest.
Hold on, not done. Then Jaron Kearse comes up with a huge play. And what do? Kelvin frickin' Moore gets in our way again.
Kellen.
Whatever. We run. I'm that irritated at the staff. I can't even say the fucker's name properly. For that staff, speaking to the offensive staff specifically, to defend and say that we were trying to just end the game right then and there, and get the 10 yards. Why didn't you start with that from the very beginning? The first 2 play calls do not justify your defense by saying you were trying to end the game and get the first down. The first play was a toss to Zeke, which went for -4 yards, and then you get 10 yards back with running it with Pollard, and then you throw it deep to Noah Brown, who was one-on-one and who was having a career day, instead of throwing it into the flat where Gallup can get it, and Gallup is very good at contorting his body to make catches and potentially getting the pass interference call. So I didn't necessarily agree with that. And then my last piece on this is Dan freaking Quinn, I think at long last needs to get some criticism, because that defense, you should be able to hold a 17-point lead coming out of halftime. And to allow 3 straight touchdowns is inexcusable. I don't care how depleted you are. You've got 5 guys out, you should be able to hold a 17-point lead. And that's my 2 cents. I'm not irritated at losing. I'm irritated at the way they lost.
JC?
Can we acknowledge the fact that Aiden backed Dak Prescott?
I
He did.
The only criticism I have on Dak
Oh yeah, now you're gonna walk it back a little
No,
bit.
Dak
see what you're doing.
had a great game. That first interception, you can make an argument to say that it was or was not his fault. The last one clearly was not his fault. But Dak, the only criticism I will give him is this: every week he's averaging almost 2 interceptions, and every week it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. They're gonna be eliminated from my game every week.
Does
He
that
says
sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? For some reason, it sounds like we've heard it's going to be different next week, next month, next year, for 25 fucking years.
Wow.
So, but that
It's
is
almost as if there's a pattern, huh?
that is the only criticism I will give Prescott. But no, he did not have a bad game. Dak played great. So, James, what do you? Yes, I will.
I'll be honest.
Prescott in this matter.
I'll be honest. At halftime, I took a little Sunday afternoon nap. Woke up halfway through the fourth quarter, and I said, "Well, what the hell happened?" And I just kind of sat there, laying on the couch, watching it, going to overtime. I said, "Well, disappointed but not surprised."
Kellen Moore.
Here's the thing with that pass on 3rd and 10. Like, if you're gonna you could have done like a simple dump off or like some kind of like why are you throwing it to the sideline? On like what was it, like a 20-yard throw?
Something ridiculous.
All you need is a first down. You're not scoring a touchdown. You don't need a field goal. Like just throw it quick. If nothing happens, time runs out. You force them to use a timeout. If you dump it off and you get a first down, guess what? You win.
No,
and they didn't do that. They went for the sideline. What are we doing? Going for a field goal?
When that ball was launched deep, I literally went, "What in the Sam hell are we doing?" And then I saw Noah Brown have one-on-one coverage, and I was like, I didn't expect him to catch it. So, but
like even then, like you're making a throw to like.
Yeah, no, totally. And
although had they made the catch, I wouldn't have been saying this. But whatever.
No, it's just the way they lost. I think, James, you put it simply, but there's criticism to be thrown out all the way around. And I think finally Dan Quinn needs to be held accountable for the way he called that defense in the second half.
You know, these losses in the regular season don't really faze me anymore because I expected it at this point. What's really going to actually piss me off is the fact that in the first round of the playoffs, we're going to get to go to a sub 500 NFC South team and probably lose.
Yeah, so, I mean, bullshit. I would.
Have you seen the standings for the NFC South?
Oh, it's a joke. It's like the NFC East was a couple years ago. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
like
the new NFC. 6-8, 5-9, 5-9, 5-9.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, if we lose that game,
we're losing that game. It's like the prophecy is written already. We're gonna get to go to a fucking 8-9 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Tom Brady's gonna remember he's Tom Brady against us and drop 40 on our nuts in the playoffs, and it's going to be the same old story.
Honestly, yeah, I could see that happening. If after this season, if we get bounced in the first round,
it's almost a given at this point.
If what we think actually takes place, I honestly don't know. I would have to really think through my words. Because at that point, it's like you have this season just to get bounced by a sub 500 team. Like, come on.
To be fair, I don't think we expected the season to go the way it did. But also,
no, I didn't expect it to be this good.
But at the same,
but I mean,
not as
after week one, I did not expect this.
I mean, I expected that. But it's Tom Brady in week one.
but the team. But here's the other thing, though. That team, the team we were when we played them week one, we are not the same team at all.
That's true.
We are. The line is better. Dak's healthy. Receivers are coming together. The defense.
And then we almost dropped a game to the Texans.
The defense
and-
actually got better.
we
Here's the
lost the
question. Because the second half, our offensive line was atrocious.
Yep.
At what point do we say screw Connor McGovern, put Tyler Smith at left guard, put Tyron back at left tackle, and throw Jason Peters at right tackle?
I think that would work really well. I thought Peters played really good.
Did Peters go out with an injury as well?
No.
He went.
Did he?
He left. I thought he left the game with an injury.
He went out for a play, but Peters is fine.
I mean, if you're guaranteeing me that it's healthy, yeah, I would totally. I mean, you're talking about 2 Hall of Famers and 3 Hall of Famers on that offensive line, and then a guy who is more than proven that he's capable of holding his own on that offensive line. Like, I'd be fine with it.
Breaking news: JT Daniels is transferring to Rice.
JT, like, what did he play at West Virginia? What? Rice? Rice?
Yep.
Why Rice?
Who else is going to take him at this point? He's failed at 3 programs.
That's fair. What was it? Georgia?
He lost his job to Keaton Slovis at USC. Lost his job to Stetson Bennett at Georgia. Lost his job to Garrett Green at West Virginia. And now it's Rice. Hey, I'll tell you what.
At some point.
Maybe putting it in Rice will help.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe a first-round pick next year.
So, real quick, going back to the Cowboys.
Hey, if JT Daniels is a first-round pick, I will finally agree. Putting shit in rice works.
You can't clean a turd, but you can put glitter on it, make it sparkle. So
you can polish a turd, but it's still a damn turd.
Yep. So, James, all this to be said, I listened to the fan this morning, and they asked Jerry a question. They asked Jerry a question and I heard Jerry Jones's interview.
What's on the fan?
Fan is shit.
Well, hold on. I listened to 105.3 this morning when they interviewed Jerry Jones, and they asked Jerry Jones if he thinks it's fair to say that this team has taken a little bit of a step back, and Jerry said that's too harsh to say right now.
Hey, homeboy, let me give you a word of advice.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this really quiet because people listening might hear. If you want to get good, you got to be harsh on yourself. Dumbass.
Yep. And would you agree with this? That I think, records aside, the best team in the NFC right now is the 49ers.
Fuck no. Until further notice, it's still
Whoa. Okay. Put the Cowboys on pause right now. I said record aside. You're honestly going to tell me that you think that the Eagles are better than the 49ers?
Yes.
How? That they have the number 1 defense in the whole league.
Yes.
What wins championships?
Even though Brock Purdy has looked good, I don't trust him yet.
I don't trust him either, but look what he has around him.
He's got weapons.
He's got Chris McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. Cool. Awesome. What else?
And Brandon Ayuk.
And then
and George Kittle.
And tight end.
Okay, George Kittle, I'll give you.
Yeah, thank you. And that defense, which is outstanding.
They are really good, but
they are hot right now.
But with the Eagles, if Jalen Hurts doesn't win the MVP this year, it's fucking rigged. Okay,
those racist assholes. Because he's injured.
Right?
Pat Mahomes right now. At the beginning of the day, he was sitting at like plus 150 to win the Heisman. Now Pat Mahomes is sitting at minus.
Yeah, we're winning the Heisman.
I'm sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. I can't say names, and now I'm saying Heisman. Pat Mahomes is now the favorite by, I think he's now a 350 favorite to win.
At this
the
point,
MVP.
if Jalen Hurts does not win it, it's rigged.
He's hurt and going to sit out 2 or 3 games.
I think the thing is that
Just-
it could be
just
very.
as him
I-
and AJ Brown were hitting their stride.
I think it's close between the Niners and the Eagles. I think that the Niners get the edge because of the injury to Hurts, but like the NFC, like you're talking about like the AFC is up here, and then the NFC is like somewhere down here.
In between 50 feet of crap.
Yeah, pretty much.
I agree with that.
But when 60% of the season you've had all 4 NFC East teams in the playoffs, something's going wrong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they were saying, I mean, this is the exact same injury that Bryce Young had. And when Bryce Young came back, he was not like a spitting image of his former self. Like, if this does like slow down Jalen's throws, that's batted balls, incomplete passes, interception.
But you know who's taking over?
Gardner Minshew.
The quarterback that played for Mike Leach. He's going to come in.
Jalen Hurts is
Holy
probably not
crap.
playing.
What?
A weather station, this is as of a minute ago, a weather station outside of Essex, Montana, just reported a wind chill of -70.
Yeah,
Woo!
I saw that.
No.
So, I mean, me personally, and then
Ow,
I'm
that hurts.
I'm going to circle back to my question here, but
I'm cold. That
James-
just made me cold.
James, no, if you get injured and don't play a full season, you should not win MVP.
Unless your numbers say so.
I mean, but do you think that, I mean, so no order, do you think that the Eagles and the 49ers are obviously like a 1A, 1B, don't care who gets which? Would you put the Cowboys in the same tier as them, or would you put them a little bit below them?
I put them in the tier below.
How below? Far off or close?
If we had to give them like ABC grades, Philly and San Francisco are A grades in the NFC at least. I'd give Minnesota a B grade, and I'd give Cowboys a B grade. I mean, it's weird because of what the Cowboys did to Minnesota. I have to put the Cowboys above Minnesota.
And,
At that point, I don't trust the Cowboys. I never have. So, I
but
mean,
do you trust Kirk Cousins in prime time?
fuck no.
There we go.
No one does.
I don't trust the
Hey,
Cowboys in
question.
any time zone. Right? Like,
That's true.
we're
That's
on
true.
prime time.
Hey, I got a question. So would you put how far apart is Philly and San Fran to you?
They're close. Obviously, if Jalen Hurts is going to miss time, that affects things a little bit. But I mean, they both have phenomenal defenses and phenomenal offenses. I mean, for the sake of being a Cowboys fan, I hope Notre Dame or not Notre Dame. Fuck.
We're all off tonight.
I hope San Francisco keeps growing to beat Philadelphia, because I can't stand Eagles fans, or at least 97% of them. But
Yeah, and we were in front
All
of
of
them.
them except the ones we sat around.
yeah, the five,
Yeah, those were cool.
all
So-
5 of them.
So, and here's my thing, because I'm going to the game Saturday. If I hear if we beat them and their argument is, well, Jalen didn't play, but fuck you guys. That didn't play.
Y'all beat Cooper Rush. Congratulations.
You beat Cooper Rush. Barely beat Cooper Rush, mind you. With 3 interceptions, they beat us by what, 12? 9?
Yeah.
Something like that?
You know, I feel like if the Niners and the Eagles do meet, I feel like that's going to be a really fun game.
I think
You know here. So So here's the doomsday scenario that is very, very realistic, and we're going to be facing it in the next 6 months. As it stands, the Eagles have a top 5 pick.
Oh, dude,
Yes.
I know.
And you know what's the one position of need for the Eagles? Come on, boys. Help me out here. What is
I
it?
could think of 2.
There you go.
Linebacker and
What did they?
defensive tackle.
Wrong. Both are wrong.
Really?
Is it an offense?
Yes.
It's an offense.
What?
Yes.
O line,
No.
tight end.
No, they're all
No.
their line's amazing.
What, running back?
Yes.
But they don't. They've got Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. They don't need a running back.
Holy mid! Like, who gives a fuck about either one of them?
They've had good years. Hold on.
Austin Scott is mid as shit, and Miles Sanders is mediocre.
A mama's boy.
And guess who is the number 1 running back in the fucking draft?
Bijan Robinson.
We, gentlemen,
He's speaking. Hold on. He's
there is a
speaking.
legitimate DEFCON 1 scenario where the Eagles have a top 5 pick in April, and they select Bijan Robinson.
That would be, yeah. I would be very sad.
You are adding the 5th stone to the gauntlet.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
dude. Hold on. They don't. I thought they.
Not doing that.
Hold on. NFL draft order right now. Let me see. No, they have a 9th pick
Just keep going down.
because
Just keep
you
going down.
Regardless, they're having a top 10 pick. And
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson's probably going to be there.
How did Miami Side note question: how did Miami forfeit their pick?
Tampering. It was something like that. It was like something revolving. Was it Flores? Brian Flores?
I
Was
don't
it
know.
tampering? I thought it was tampering.
Racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was racism.
So I mean, I'm looking at this. I mean, Houston needs all kinds of help right now. Then Chicago.
They need Jesus.
Houston's taking a quarterback.
Houston's taking a quarterback. Chicago.
Bryce Young.
Chicago needs help.
Chicago's taking Jalen Carter.
Then Denver, their pick from
Does he have
Seattle.
character issues?
I'm sorry, Seattle.
Jalen Carter's-
Seattle's pick from Denver because we saw how well that
Yeah.
went.
Seattle's taking
I've heard.
the other quarterback.
Oh, come on, man, Gino.
No.
then Detroit. Then Detroit's 4.
They
They got it from the Rams. They could take a running back.
They're not
I feel
taking
like they
a
need-
running back over
Then
DeAndre
then,
Swift.
then Arizona is 5th.
they need a defense. I feel like they need some defensive help.
Yeah, Detroit needs secondary.
Then Arizona.
Arizona
Like,
needs offensive line.
I kind of like Detroit's offense, but their defense needs help. Like their defense.
Yeah,
Then
Detroit
Arizona.
needs defense. Arizona needs offensive line.
Then Indianapolis.
They need a quarterback.
They
Then,
need.
then Atlanta.
Oh my gosh!
Then Atlanta.
Atlanta needs a quarterback. Atlanta needs a quarterback.
You know
Carolina.
Marcus Mariota?
Carolina.
Not sold on him.
Then
Carolina.
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 They
needs
also need a
quarterback.
quarterback.
And
Yes,
then-
they do.
They need a running back too. Hold on.
Yes. And
I
plus
could
receivers
see.
would help.
Bijan to Carolina.
And an offensive line.
We'll see what happens, fellas. But no,
I-
I think that I'm not worried about the Eagles this year, fellas. I think they are going to lose either whenever their first playoff game is or in the Super Bowl. They are going to lose. But next year and the
Let's
year
go
after,
Bills.
what?
Bills Mafia.
Dude,
Put
I
it up to the table.
Who's got a
I
table?
picked the same. I picked the same team that Chris did in the NFC.
Get the
I'm
table.
gonna stick with them. I really want to switch to Kansas City right now so badly, but
Fuck you. You're going in timeout.
I want the Bills. I think.
What was that for?
Nobody wants to see Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes win.
I don't want to see them either, but come on, fellas. Like,
No. It's time. It's the Bills' time. It's time for the Bills.
I want Bills in San Francisco. I still have Bills in San Francisco.
so do I.
I had Bills and Cowboys, but
Pretty glad
Wait,
to understand now.
hey,
Bills and
have-
Eagles.
Hey,
until further notice, give me Bills Eagles.
hey, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. We're gonna be fine.
We're gonna be fine, but we don't want to be fine. We want to be good.
20,
James,
25
so
years says you're 25 years says you're wrong.
Before one of my last questions of the evening, somebody Chris knows very well compared Dak Prescott to Danny White. Agree or disagree?
In what way?
I never watched it.
That a
I've never watched
very
it.
nice guy, good quarterback, but could never get the job done. Agree or
I know,
disagree?
we never watched Daniel White.
No,
We're way too young
know the
for that.
history. Or another comparison: Dak Prescott,
It's Tony Romo.
Brett Favre.
Oh. Or Tony Romo.
You got to do the thing. You got to do the thing first before you speak. Man,
Part of
he
the
is
Red Sea.
deep.
I can see it. I can see. I can understand the sentiment of good person and struggles to get the job done. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, anyway,
I think if you have, I think
you need to see more consistency from him. On the high end, he has elite arm talent, and he's very mobile. But I need to see more consistent accuracy from him, and I need to see more consistent, deliberate play calling. Because once we get off script, yeesh.
and that's the whole.
yeah, I think the thing with Kellen Moore is that he's still a young guy, like young offensive coordinator. So like he's still learning this stuff. So like you need to bring somebody in that actually knows what he's doing, because a lot of the times you give him in his inexperience and it causes his games. I think he's got a really good future as an offensive coordinator, but his play calling right now is losing his ball games, and I think it's inexperience. But I mean, it's costing us games, and it's cost us the last 2 or 3 years. So I think it's time to part ways with him and probably go get a more experienced play caller. What does that have to do with?
I just saw it.
When was the last time you played Call of Duty, sir?
Been a while. I think the part that really irritates me with Kellen Moore is that there's no consistency. Like during the game,
Experience.
but between games, like between 1 week and the next week, it's just a completely different just plan of attack. It's just there's no consistency at all. And that's what my rant for the evening is. That's what irritates me the most.
I
about
thought you already had one.
this whole this is like just my rant of the evening is
We're at 1A.
the whole thing about we were trying to end the game right then and there. No, you fucking weren't trying to end the game right then and there. If you did, then you wouldn't have made those 2 play calls on first and second down. It's ridiculous. Nothing shows that that's what you were trying to do. So I think that's just a cop-out excuse. And I'm tired of Kellen Moore, honestly.
You need a more experienced play caller coming in.
I don't need
like
this
you
negativity.
What?
I don't need this negativity.
said. Goodbye.
Just let y'all rant. I'll see you later.
Okay. Hold on. He's doing the motion. He's doing this in peace and quiet. He's going. So
Yoga?
I
Is he doing his version of yoga?
Again, we are going to lose. Not to sound like a broken record, we were going to lose. This weekend, though, moving on from it, I hope we embarrassed the shitbirds from Philadelphia. I hope we embarrass the shitbirds from Philadelphia. LOSERS, Eagles.
Did you make the pot?
On the flip side though, how embarrassing would it be to lose to them?
If Jalen Hurts does not play,
It wouldn't, because at this point they're the better team.
even
I'd be shit disappointed because we're losing on fucking Christmas Eve to our rival. But
And
at this
is
point,
with the
it makes sense. They're the better
the
team.
backup?
even with
Backup?
with Gardner, you still think they're the better team?
They're the
It's
more
like-
complete team.
I agree. Yeah, even with Jalen out and with Gardner Minshew, I could agree with that. They're the more complete.
I think also Gardner Minshew's he's a serviceable quarterback. So
Minshew Mania, baby. Grouch your stash.
Do we win this weekend, James? Is it? I've seen. I'm pretty certain Jalen is not playing this weekend.
Yes, we win. I'm gonna stick with my prediction
think-
I had before the season.
I think
We lose in Philly, we win in Dallas.
we win, but I think it's close.
Obviously.
It's close.
Thank you.
Does Kelvin Joseph look better this week?
Fuck no.
No.
AJ Brown's gonna baptize him.
Kelvin Joseph. does not- James, do you agree with this? Kelvin Joseph does not need to be on our roster next year.
Kelvin Joseph
he
makes me
hasn't
miss.
shown
What was our other
anything.
corner's name?
I'll tell you what, if we are able to get a highly drafted defensive back, cut him. But if we struggle,
Keep him.
what better are we gonna get?
True. Maybe someone
Yeah.
in free agency. I don't know, but I agree.
Unless
You don't-
pay somebody.
Chris, what was your thing? Were you asking like who the other corner was?
I
Ron
said that.
Bland?
No, not Bland.
He's pretty good.
No, he's injured.
Bland's been good. Are you talking about?
He has been.
Are you talking about the one that's injured?
Is it? Yeah.
Donovan Wilson.
Jordan Lewis.
No.
I forgot about that guy.
Jordan Lewis can play.
No. Brown.
Anthony Brown.
Like yes. Kelvin Joseph makes me miss Anthony Brown, and then Anthony Brown before his injury was not doing well.
You know
But,
what?
like,
That statement doesn't need any explanation.
okay, but he makes me miss Anthony Brown.
We understand the sentiment.
Anyway. That's all.
So we've all got the Cowboys winning this weekend. They're totally not going to disappoint us on Christmas Eve like they have.
Totally not. Nah, not at all.
I'll see you Tuesday whenever we're ranting about the Cowboys.
God.
Gonna let us down again because
Hey,
Predict
we don't
them to do
need this
something good.
negative. Hey, Chris, we don't need this negativity.
well, negativity's been around for 25 years.
There's no substitute for winning.
All right, that's
Yeah?
enough of you.
Well,
We
there is.
gotta believe that it hurts us to lose.
Well, they definitely believe in her. They love getting hurt, don't they?
Add another echo to the star.
That's enough out of you two. Thanks for listening. This was number 14.
I'm a bigger Cowboys fan than him. I'm a bigger Cowboys fan than Chris. That doesn't mean you are an imposter.
He's got the ink, dude. He's got the ink.
That never leaves. That
Actually,
never
it
leaves
looks-
my
that
I
arm.
mean, it
looks- that
could.
looks
Just
like a
Wisconsin
deformed-
could.
It looks like a deformed star compared to this one. This is even. That one's wide.
Because it's sideways, stupid.
Aiden, put the star on your body.
Huh?
Put the star on your body.
Technically, it is on my body.
No, you know what I
No,
mean.
like when I take off my shirt, it's still on me.
Hey,
Hey,
Aiden, if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year, get a tattoo.
Where?
On your
Wherever.
ass. All right.
What?
Yeah. Get the Cowboys
Hey,
star on your
tramp
ass.
stamp.
if you win the Super Bowl.
Tramp stamp. Tramp stamp. Get a tramp
Shake on
stamp.
it. Shake on it. Shake on it.
I can't do that. Man.
Okay.
That's the one thing I will not. That's the one thing I will not do in my life. I will
Then
not.
shut up. We're out of here. Thanks for listening. This is episode 14. Merry Christmas, boys. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Dub.
National Signing Day is tomorrow.
Merry
I'll be
Chrysler.
covering that.
Merry
Super excited.
Christmas.
We'll see
Merry
you when we see
Christmas,
you.
everybody. All right.
Shut up.
That was one of our better ones, fellas.